Gavin Kelly on creating lasting value through trust, communication, and client-first real estate guidance. Even though conditions in the real estate sector can alter, stock levels rise and fall as well, finance markets are also changing. One thing is for sure: people deserve to have a trustworthy advisor. Gavin Kelly bases his work on professionalism, on listening, transparent communication, and support in taking decisions that meet the long-term goals of his clients and not current pressures. Being acknowledged as someone who can be relied on, Gavin Kelly approaches every client relationship by stating that everyone's transaction is different. No matter if a person is purchasing a first home, planning for the sale of the house in which he has been living for a long time, or whether he is running a rental property, Gavin Kelly believes that the key to successful transactions is first to know the interests of clients, and only after that, try to persuade them into taking a particular decision. The client-oriented approach of Gavin Kelly shows that real estate professionals shouldn't only focus on carrying out various transactions but rather on making their clients knowledgeable in the area. Trust is the cornerstone of every relationship. When it comes to real estate deals, making the right decision often involves considering one of the largest financial commitments of one's life. In this context, trust is not an optional term but an essential element of a client-agent bond. Kelly maintains that the essence of establishing trust is based upon consistency rather than merely promising things. Clients are interested to obtain easy answers, establish realistic expectations, and receive business advice that works in their interests even when conversations become rather complicated and the situation is constantly changing. Trust as an idea is not restricted to separate transactions. Rather, it is the foundation of the whole process, since establishing trust before, during, and after the completion of each real estate deal is a good way to build a successful relationship with clients, as they will follow a realtor long after the completion of the deal. Why communication shapes the client experience. Though elements such as price-setting process, negotiating, and having knowledge of the existence of a market are quite important, it is often communication that makes the difference between a great real estate experience and a sense that one is losing control. Kelly thinks of real estate communication as a constant responsibility, not a series of updates. With proper communication, all the parties involved, buyers, sellers, landlords, and tenants, would be clear about the expectations and would receive answers to all their questions. Good communication means less doubt in the times of emotional tension. Although buying and selling houses can be a very exciting experience, at the same time those moments can be very stressful when there are deadlines to meet, inspections to pass, or finances to deal with. So constant communication creates a feeling of partnership. Education creates more confident decisions. For Kelly, education is not separate from service. It is an essential part of effective real estate guidance. Every client arrives with different levels of experience. First-time buyers may be evaluating the largest investment they have ever considered. Sellers may be entering a market that has changed considerably since their previous transaction. Landlords and tenants often face questions involving expectations, timelines, and communication that benefit from thoughtful explanation before misunderstandings develop. Instead of assuming familiarity with industry practices, Kelly believes clients deserve a clear understanding of the options available to them and the potential implications of each decision. Breaking down complex processes into understandable language allows clients to move forward with greater confidence while maintaining control over important choices. That educational approach encourages informed decision-making rather than dependence. Clients leave not only with completed transactions but also with a stronger understanding of the real estate process itself. A broader perspective across the market. Working with buyers, sellers, landlords, and tenants provides a broader perspective than focusing on only one segment of the market. Each group approaches real estate with different priorities, responsibilities, and expectations. Buyers seek value and confidence in their investment. Sellers want practical strategies that reflect current market conditions. Landlords often balance operational considerations with long-term property goals, while tenants value transparency and dependable communication throughout the rental experience. Experience across these different perspectives helps Kelly anticipate potential challenges before they become larger issues. It also allows him to simplify complicated decisions, explain multifaceted processes in accessible language, balance competing priorities, and encourage productive conversations that support positive outcomes for everyone involved. That broader understanding becomes particularly valuable because many clients eventually experience multiple sides of the market throughout their lives. Someone who begins as a first-time buyer may later become a seller, investor, landlord, or tenant. Having an advisor who understands each stage contributes to continuity and stronger long-term relationships built on familiarity and trust. Guidance that evolves with the market changes in the marketplace may create uncertainty for consumers and thus make advisory services all the more useful. The real estate business in Colorado is evolving with the evolution of economic conditions, consumers' preferences, and the changes in the demand and supply desiring. In times of rapid changes, clients rely more on practical advice based on a comprehensive analysis of current market positions and the individual objectives rather than on assumptions made by industry experts. Kelly is convinced that thoughtful advice means assisting clients in analyzing circumstances to determine opportunities rather than pushing them toward uniform solutions. Although it is possible to define the strategies that may work for one buyer or seller, what is feasible for one person in a certain neighborhood may not work the same way for another person in the same situation. Due to this individualized approach, Kelly's clients can make choices based on existing reality and future plans. The use of preparations, communication, and strategic planning allow him to lead clients through uncertainty and still maintain a wide perspective. Relationships beyond the closing table. Many professionals measure success by completed transactions. Kelly takes a broader view, emphasizing relationships that continue long after paperwork has been finalized. Long-term client relationships are built through responsiveness, reliability, and continued availability as circumstances change. Clients may have questions months or even years after a purchase, sale, or lease agreement. Remaining a dependable resource reinforces the advisory role while demonstrating that the relationship extends beyond a single transaction. This perspective also reflects the reality that real estate decisions are rarely isolated events. Families grow, careers change, investment goals evolve, and housing needs shift over time. Clients who have confidence in their advisor often value having a consistent source of real estate guidance whenever new opportunities or challenges arise. That continuity strengthens trust while creating lasting professional relationships grounded in mutual respect rather than transactional interactions. Defining success through service. The qualities that distinguish respected advisors often have less to do with technical expertise alone than with how that expertise is shared. Integrity, transparency, responsiveness, and education remain central to Kelly's approach because they directly influence the client experience from beginning to end. As a client-first real estate professional, Gavin Kelly demonstrates that effective representation involves more than facilitating buying and selling homes. It requires listening carefully, communicating consistently, explaining complex decisions clearly, and remaining focused on each client's individual goals throughout the process. Those principles also shape his work in landlord and tenant representation, where clear expectations and collaborative communication help create productive relationships and reduce unnecessary conflict. Across every type of transaction, the emphasis remains on thoughtful guidance tailored to each client's circumstances rather than standardized solutions. Viewed through that lens, the role of a real estate expert extends beyond negotiating contracts or interpreting market activity. It becomes an ongoing commitment to helping people make informed decisions with confidence while building relationships that endure over time. In an industry where market conditions will inevitably change, trust, communication, and personalized guidance remain enduring constants. Those values continue to define Gavin Kelly's approach, reinforcing the idea that lasting value in real estate is created not simply through completed transactions, but through relationships built on integrity, transparency, and a genuine commitment to serving clients' long-term interests.